So my name's John Falecki. I'm a Quality Metallurgical Engineer at Neenah Foundry, and I'm a 2019 grad from Michigan Tech in Material Science and Engineering, and an FEF alum. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the things I didn't learn in school, involving some career flexibility and getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. So I'm going to start with a little bit of history on my career in the foundry industry. And so I started as a uh, plant metallurgist at Neenah Foundry, which is a pretty typical role for anyone with a metallurgist degree or material science degree entering the foundry. And that's changed a little bit since I started. You know, over this last year, year and a half, the world's changed a little bit, and companies and people have had to adapt. And a part of that is, being open to changes in your career, changes in, how much responsibility you take on, or, where you're going. So I didn't learn a lot of that in school. When you start in college, or I mean in high school, or just your school journey, the first day of college, at least for most people, your orientation day, as a freshman, or I was a transfer student, but they give you a sheet of paper that tells you, you need to take these classes in this order for these 4 years, and then you'll graduate and get a degree. And that's not really how it works after college. You have some choices when you're taking your classes. You can, take a different gym class or a different health class or something along those lines, but you're still taking, the same core classes as everybody else. And, I graduated with 30 something people that had the same degree I did, and we all went off and did different things. Um, so there's not that structure when you're out of college. You go into a career where maybe there isn't a promotion structure, or maybe there isn't like a defined role going up the chain like there is in classes. So you kind of have to, take your job and your career and move it where you want to go. So I started as a plant metallurgist, and now I'm a quality metallurgical engineer. And that's not a very typical title for someone to have. I only know one other person that has that title, and he sits 10 feet away from me. Um, so with the changes that have been happening, I've had to take on more quality responsibilities. We've moved into the quality department, and a lot of my day is still being a metallurgist and still using that knowledge and those skills that I learned in school, and doing data analysis and looking at our process and looking at the metal and the microstructures. But the other half of my day involves quality, contacting customers, making sure that we're following our processes in the quality department. So there's a lot of learning I've had to do that doesn't involve engineering, that doesn't involve what I went to school for this last year. And it's just that kind of constant learning process the whole time. Um, I've taken some online classes, taken some structured learning that just to help out, but most of my learning, most of my progression has been day to day, talking to people, um, learning the new department, learning the new skills that I have to take on to adapt to what I'm currently doing. And a lot of that is stepping outside of my comfort zone. Um, my comfort zone when I came here was engineering. And now I have a much more broad set of skills, even in the last year, year and a half, even in the last 6 months, than I did when I came here. And, school and high school, college, all of that gave me the foundation to learn these things, but it's really, the in-person experience, all of the different tasks I have to do on a day-to-day basis, all the learning and the progression to that next step comes from coming to work every day and, talking to people and being a part of the process here. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Um, and a few of it is, adapting to the new environment, especially with, the pandemic that's going on right now and all of the challenges that everyone's facing. We all have to adapt in one way or another. And being open to that, being willing to take on something more, something new, really helps you grow as a person. At least it's helped me grow as a person, grow in the professional field, and continue to progress through what's coming next. So um, if you have any questions, feel free to post those, and I have the tab open right now, and I'll answer any that come in. But yeah, that's mostly what I wanted to talk about for what I didn't learn in school, because they didn't really, they tell you you're gonna go and get a job as an engineer or in whatever field that you start in, but I was fortunate enough to have a position where I can use my degree, and that's what I wanted to do. But I'm developing skills to not just use my degree, to go beyond that, but still get to step into the lab and look at microstructures and um, go over the different details in the metals process. So yeah, that's what I had. Um, Thank you for tuning into the Facebook Live session, and look forward to any future presentations that are coming up through the FEF page. And I want to thank FEF for allowing me to come on and talk about some of the things I didn't learn in school. And again, thank them for the help they gave me while I was in college and in school. So I will just stick on for the minute I have left. So if you have, again, any questions or comments or anything, feel free to post. Oh, and I guess I had one more comment and detail. When I started right outside of college, I was really afraid of failure. And in school, you have a grade every time you fail, pretty much. You do your homework and you get a failing grade when you don't do great at homework, or you get a C in a class, or you have these constant progression reminders, like this is how you're doing. And in the workplace and in the professional world, there's not really that. So I was not having that was a little weird to me, and I had to learn how to not have that comforting, grade. And that's the last thing I'll leave off on is, don't be afraid of not having a grade. People will tell you how you're doing. So again, thank you for tuning in, and look forward to any future presentations from FEF. And have a good day.